Hi everyone, this is Joseph. Today's success story is about a motion to reopen for an F1 international student. Now, of all the motion to reopen cases, I could say this is my favorite. The reason is because I didn't believe it would work. So the story begins with a denial. This was a 40-year-old man who was trying to go to school and his case got denied. The reason for the denial is because USCIS wrote, I don't believe you're really a true student. You've been in the US studying from school to school for over 10 years, and you changed to a religious application, an R1 application that got withdrawn, and now you're going back to school. We really don't think you're a true bona fide student, so we're denying your change of status, and you need to leave the US now. And that's the heartbreaking part about this case. He's been failed by his church, whom he has been serving for the past decade. He's been failed by his seminary, who put this F1 change of status application together. And now he's been failed by this government who's about to reject this case when he was in the US serving all these people who are its citizens. How is he going to prove that he's been lawfully in the US as a true student? He's 40 plus years old. He hasn't gone back to Taiwan in so long. And all of his residence is here, his bank accounts are here, he's been filing taxes here. What is he going to do? And you know how in the beginning I said that I didn't believe in this case? Well, this is why. I couldn't come up with a creative solution to help argue this case. It just seemed impossible to argue that he has a bona fide intent to be a student when we have his entire track record behind us. And spending an enormous amount of time and energy to put together a case, I feel like it was just very difficult. But the other managing partner, Chen Cho, said, we have to win this case at all costs. We've been serving him and his family and his church. We cannot abandon him now. It is a difficult argument. It might require a lot of resources. Do everything that's possible to help him win. Well, if that was a directive, then that is what we're gonna do. Win at all costs. So, I assembled 3 teams to build this case. One team focused on his past. He grew up in Taiwan, he was educated in Taiwan. We had a team to help him dig through everything that he had about Taiwan to show that he has roots back in Taiwan and that therefore he doesn't have an immigrant intent and he is here purely to study. So one group, his past. He actually just got married not too long ago, and his wife is a Korean, and his wife is in Korea with a PhD. The second team focused on his future in Korea. So this team worked with his wife in Korea to talk about all the plans that they have. His job offer in Korea, once he finishes his education to go back to Korea to work. His marriage, of course, in Korea. Her family and all of their relatives, their bank accounts, their insurance, and their roots and ties in Korea. That's the second team, his future in another country. The third team focused on everything that he has been studying in the past 10 years, as well as everything that he is going to study in the next 2 years in this new school. Why is he studying it? We came up with an academic proposal. This is his career path. He came to the US, he studied these things, and then he's going to study this, and then he's going to go back to Korea to use this education for this benefit. Of course, we talk about his extracurricular activity, being a pastor, serving at the church, and why the case was withdrawn, and had the church provide statements talking about his continuous education. And so we put all the documents together. It was the thickest application I've ever done for a motion to reopen. The motion was granted, the case was reopened, and then it was approved. He was able to finally go back to school and continue his studies, finish his studies, wrap up his life here, and then eventually move back to Korea. I have to be honest, when the case was approved, I cried a little. And the reason was because I had so little faith. And then I actually talked with him. Look, to be honest, I really didn't believe your case. Yes, everybody who was working on it, they were spending all their time and energy building this case, but in the back of my mind, I had a lot of doubts. And then the pastor said, it's okay. I was praying. I don't know about you, but this pastor believed in the power of his prayer more than the attorneys that was actually working on this case. Despite the doubt of the attorneys and the team that was working on the case to lead to the approval, he put his faith in his prayer about this case. Despite my disbelief, his belief and his faith overcame it. I know USCIS officers. I talk with them, I deal with them on a day-to-day basis. I have meetings with them. I know they're trained, I know they're capable, and this motion to reopen case went back to the exact same officer that denied it in the first place, that said that, hey, you've been in here for 10 years, I don't believe you're a real student. But after seeing everything, somehow that officer's heart was moved and he approved the case. All I know is I did my best to prepare this case. I didn't believe. We tried, and then it was successful. And then this pastor had the composure, the confidence, the hope, the joy, the faith that allowed this case to move forward. That's why I want to say this is my favorite success story. This is my favorite motion to reopen story. And that's a wrap for today's success story. I hope you enjoyed it. It was certainly enlightening for us to be a part of this pastor's journey and reopening a case. If you like these type of success stories where we kind of dive in and unravel exactly what worked, what was the strategy, how we did it, and the outcome, feel free to subscribe to this channel. And I know there's a pandemic raging on right now, and I know it's very difficult to try to get answers for your case. So if you have a very specific question, feel free to reach out to us. Leave a comment below, give us a phone call, email us. We're here to help. And we're always putting out the newest content on our LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and all sorts of different channels. So feel free to follow us there. Thank you for watching these videos, and thank you for being the best part of the team. My name is Joseph. This is Zhang & Associates. We solve legal problems with creative solutions. Thank you. Bye-bye.